This is what the trailer should be. A special look at the IWC Media and AEW, a collaboration with AEW Disciplinary. So here we go. Pro Wrestling Media on the AEW WBD new media rights deal. Let's see what they reported. PW Chronicle. AEW have long been involved in TV rights extensions talks with WBD, and talks have been ongoing for months. WBD sources state that they have been very happy with AEW per Fightful. Supposed reputable wrestling media were reporting that WBD was very happy with All Elite Wrestling. AEW forever. Rumor, AEW and WBD have come to a new 5-year-long $1 billion agreement. The entire AEW package, including pay-per-views and weekly TV, would be exclusive to Warner Bros. And subject to streaming on WBD platforms. Okay, well, whatever. I'm always playing devil's advocate. That's the thing with Phil. If you tell me even if I agree with it, I'm going to try and be like, nah, and go against it. But it's like this was just a made up rumor that some marks made up. Like, you can't take this serious, but these are the diehards. So he is pointing out, like, as far back as May 23, look at what these people are inventing in their heads. The entire AEW package, including pay-per-views and weekly TV, would be exclusive, whatever. An announcement is expected within the week. That was like last summer. Okay. Per Octagon Media rights analysis, AEW is in line for a big step up in rights fees, even with headwinds facing WBD. Streaming rates for Max will play a big role. Thanks for sharing our thoughts. AEW All In is tracking to be the most attended pro wrestling show ever, at least outside of North Korea. Tony Khan has built a business that will do well over $100 million in 23 revenue. And then remember, they lost 150 though, like overall, which we're not saying like, oh, you got to be in the green all the time. But I don't know, man. They kept saying, oh, the $100 million revenue. No. Wrestle Purists. The figures being talked about between WBD and AEW are said to be considerably more than the estimated $110 million per year, or slightly more. That would, in theory, take AEW into profitable range. No, it didn't, though. That's a lie. There is talk of figures between 50% above and as much as nearly double the current number. Mike Ozanian, Forbes analyzed it at $2 billion. This edit is incredible.
A new TV rights deal between AEW and Warner Bros Discovery will be announced as part of the latter's upfront next Wednesday in New York City. This news comes from our Dave Meltzer. Meltzer said both the deal and the much-discussed AEW Collision show will be announced at the Wednesday, May 17th event at the theater at Madison Square Garden.
I presume they're going to announce CM Punk, right? The Chicago show and the new TV show, because they're all the same. That's the debut of the new TV show. And the combination of all that, I don't know that they announced the new TV deal, but that will probably be announced, though, at the upfront. So it probably in some form will be announced.
What the is Dave even babbling about, man? Jesus Christ.
Dummy, yeah.
He's just babbling. I hope you guys got a dummy. I'm not getting on mine. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah.
It may not be the single biggest announcement, but it will be the most big announcements of a big announcement, because it's not just
it'll be the most it'll be the most big announcements of a big announcement,
because it's not just it's a big show, it's a new TV show, and it's CM Punk's return, all on June the 17th.
The Wrestling Observer newsletter is believed to be the most reliable pro wrestling media outlet in the industry. AEW lands new TV deal with Warner Bros. So natural other wrestling media sites and accounts ran with Meltzer's word. Exactly. The figures being talked about between WBD are said to be blah, blah, blah. We read that. AEW content started to appear on HBO Max for some users. Nothing has been officially announced, but this is a good sign for a new deal between AEW and Warner Bros. Discovery. Tony Khan teases very lucrative milestone for AEW in 2024. Even the New York Post reported the narrative.
I'm not really supposed to get into all the specific details of the partnership with Warner Brothers Discovery, but I would say that the time that's left on the previous deal. The current deal is the same duration as what we were doing before, and it's a new.
They are currently on a deal from 2023, which expires on December 31, 2024. Oh my God, this is brilliant.
Deal. It's a different scope than what we previously had with Warner Bros Discovery, which is exciting for us.
So you guys can read all this, right? So Tony also stated that the new media rights deal for AEW will happen also with a big increase. Exciting times ahead, it seems, for AEW ROH. They're all just regurgitating. I expect big increases in the rights for the AEW programs, and we're on a good pace to make a very lucrative deal for the AEW media rights going forward. Tony Khan boasts. This guy says, it's great when Tony Khan joins Wrestling Observer Radio. I'm confident AEW will get a good media deal. The 18 to 34 demo drop needed more time. Yes, other shows would love their number, but something caused a shift. Perhaps a combo of WWE surge, timing, and stories. Product not connecting as much. Jesus. John Alba. AEW creates tons of content, has some of the best talent in the world, sturdy financial backing, is expanding programming, and its flagship draws well in its time slot in comparison to other cable shows. Given the landscape, I'd imagine 52 weeks of live TV warrants big money. Yeah, but you're just wrong, dude. Like, that's the problem, John. Like, I know you think that, but it just seems, and I know you think you're smarter than everybody else. And God damn it, dude, I follow you. I actually enjoy when you and Eric get into it and stuff, because that's the kind of content I enjoy. I enjoy producing content like that too, opposing opinions. But dude, like, I imagine 52 weeks of live TV warrants big money, but it doesn't if it's not doing big numbers. And so it's like, I know you guys imagine that. Everyone's imagining a lot of things. Let's just wait and see, because they're not saying and nobody's saying, and it's the same circle of, oh, it'll be great. It'll be great. We're not really. We had a meeting. I was on a bus with Guy Fieri. I didn't really talk to Zaslav, but WBD's awesome. Like, we don't know, dude. Okay? And I get it. He's just tweeting out his opinion. And these are, okay, they create a ton of content. It's not that good, though. Their YouTube's Ant Evans was on the show. He broke it down. Has some of the best talent in the world. Doesn't mean if there's no story behind it, if the buildings are empty, if the production is bad and people aren't watching the show. Sturdy financial backing. Okay? That's true. We can't argue that. Is expanding programming. Again, doesn't mean anything. Its flagship draws well and its time slot in comparison to other cable networks. Okay, in a certain demo, you know, we can play these games all day. Oh, in the 18 to 21, in the 18 to 45, in the 18 to 46, in the 18 to 35. It's silliness, man. People watch it and it just doesn't compare. The way the booking is, the creative is bad. It's just one problem. That once that gets fixed, it'll be better, and probably all this will help. If Tony just sat back and let better people do this, it would probably all get fixed. But instead, no, he's going to put his feet down and say, nah, I got this. And yeah, I don't know. Tony Khan on media rights renewal says Dynamite, Collision, and Rampage will all be getting huge increases. I can say for sure. Okay. Observer, the media rights deal between AEW and WBD is believed to be closed. Close, pardon me. One person with inside knowledge of the talk said this week's Dynamite rating was awesome timing. One rating. AEW 2023 financial estimate, $154 million, up from roughly $150 million in 2022. Media division, including TV deals, forms 60% of revenue. I'm Meltzerin over here. Live events generate roughly $34 million from ticket sales. Path to profitability relies on a significant increase in rights fees with WBD per WrestleNomics. So I don't know. You can trust them with those numbers, but the whole thing is like they drew in $154 million. Sorry, I'm sure they have the rest of the info here, because my whole thing is this. I know that what they're saying is they lost about $154 million. Or 150 around that in the year. And I'm not going like, ha, ha. Like, I don't care. You know, lots of billion-dollar companies do that. But what we're saying is like, don't say, oh, they're booming and making money, and then we have to see these big empty buildings on top of that. Like, well, whoa, Tony, you don't have to lose 150 million. Like, we're fans of this. We don't, you know what I mean, dude? You want to sign free agents, right? You want to do bigger shows and stuff, right? Well, like, how about do some better marketing and don't waste money on these, you know, do what TNA's doing, man. Just make the show look cool. It's all dark and glib all the time. So I don't know. Those are things where I think I'm assuming you could cost cut as well. You know, I know we get some tax breaks, but so does WWE. So we can't get mad at that. And so I'm getting off track here, but yeah. WWE real one, whatever the deal is with WBD and AEW, it's going to be a big money deal. AEW is going to get that bag and there will be tears. Here's the thing with this guy. He just does to trigger people. So you can't even, it's like, okay, can't take him seriously at all. He's just literally saying that. So he gets featured in this video and people go talk to him. So he gets more money. Zarian, since we are on the topic of TV and streaming rights, a source mentioned to me that it's very possible for AEW to become a cable streaming hybrid show, much like how the NBA simulcast on TNT. Exactly. I agree with that. I don't think that will even, you know, and that doesn't mean, oh, a bunch more money. That, if anything, is like, no, we're going to give you less money to also stay on TV because we just want you on streaming. But we'll put you on our streaming, you know? Or like simulcast as well. UFC's talking about that. Like, yeah, we could be like the NFL, different cards on different networks. Do that, Tony. Do that. I'd actually be happy if that happened for you. But that, if he does that, I could see that happening, but that means he's getting less money from more places. So that doesn't equate to, you know, like what people think, like, oh, he's going to get big money from a million places. No. You'll get less from more instead of more from less. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyways, not sure, Dave, not sure, but when the company value went from 0 to 1 billion in 4.5 years, it's a hell of a great investment in the big picture. According to who? Forbes, who just said they're in trouble, dude? And then said they're 2 billion? Crazy. Even at 170 million per year, which per viewer would be barely half of what WWE seems to be getting, it will make AEW exceedingly profitable, and with overseas rights and other revenue, and at that point they would be the most successful wrestling promotion from a business standpoint in the history of the industry. They're trying to say, these sickos were trying to say that they would be the most profitable in history, man. Number one in the industry. Dude. What? I believe AEW will get the TV deal, but I have no type of changes. What's the point for fans and keep on watching and attending their events? WBD is wasting their time and money. Thank you so much. I'm giving you guys sounds, and if I don't acknowledge me, I could see them just having the same deal, just less money. Like Rampage is still on Friday, Collision's still on Saturday, Wednesday, Dynamite's still on Wednesday, pay-per-views are still, no more Battle of the Belts. That'll just go away. Battle of the Belts will become like, they'll just start calling like Wednesdays that, you know how they'll do Wednesday Bash at the Beach or whatever, you know, Dynamite Bash at the Beach, or what do they call them? It's like what NXT does. What's theirs? Because they Full Gear, or they did Fighter Fest. It was on TV one year. It wasn't a pay-per-view, right? So they'll just do that with Battle of the Belts on Wednesdays, and then just not have that extra hour tacked on, because what's the point? They lose hella viewers. So it'll just be something like that. And then also we'll be on streaming. But then also both shows will be on TBS. Like I think Rampage is on TNT. Like it'll be a downgrade of some sort, but it'll just be like the same, and we'll just have the same thing. And then they can Tony will be like, this is amazing, all things considered. They'll find a spin. Dave always finds a spin. He always does. So these wrestler media pundits all but ignore WBD's financial woes. Which, guys, all this stuff's coming out about WBD, and I told y'all a year so long ago, man. I was like, I brought to the show, I was like, dude, they're laying off a bunch of writers and stuff. Like, they're downsizing their offices and all this, and they're like scrapping movies, right? Because I'm a writer, guys. Okay, I was like, give it a year, give it some time. You guys can go back; it's on the internet. And I was like, give it some time. You're gonna hear crazy coming about WBD, man, because it's way worse than people think. And I wasn't the only one saying it, but just if you're in like the entertainment YouTubers and stuff, I don't know. I watch all kind of nerdy. I watch like Fat Man Beyond, like Kevin Smith and Mark Burnett, and I'm into all that kind of stuff too. And so I'm not the only guy who's saying it, but yeah, it's like about a year later, and they're missing $9 billion, and there's a John Cena movie that's not coming out, and there's Zaslav's in the toilets, and they were, I don't know, taking meetings. I don't know, all this crazy stuff, man. And it's on the entertainment side as well, like the comic space, their movie division, all that stuff. It's all been downsized.
Obviously, people may well know that new NBA contract for the right to air the games beginning not this coming season, but the next one has all been signed up. We've been talking about Warner Bros Discovery's failure to land the deal they matched or they claim they have. Amazon has the deal, and now, as we've been telling you, Warner Bros Discovery is suing the NBA.
If they actually have to pay the $1.9 billion a year, and the AEW deal is not pretty much signed, it's probably not a good thing for AEW.
So I believe, again, this is all things that bode well for All Elite Wrestling.
This guy has the most crackheaded opinions ever, dude.
I believe,
like, go read this guy here, Baydala. Go read his Twitter, man. It is, you'll just get a howl.
That Warner Bros. Discovery, what number they invest, I don't know. What they get, I don't know. But what I'm telling you is that Warner Bros. Discovery is not going to just sit on their hands and do nothing. They're going to invest, whether it's outside of All Elite Wrestling or currently what they have with the NHL, the NCAA, and the MLB. Who knows? I don't know, but I can tell you right now, this bodes well for All Elite Wrestling, and it also bodes well for other partners who want to jump in and maybe get a little piece of that Warner Brothers Discovery pie. But it's a good day for AEW, in my opinion.
Thank you all who watch AEW as we approach indelible times in our history. With All in London, weeks away, the most important announcements in AEW history looming large now. Don't miss Saturday Night Collision.
So take it in, don't hold your breath. The bottom's all I found. We can't
Will there be a big TV deal announcement for All Elite Wrestling tonight?
get higher than we get on the long way down.
Yeah, Awful hit me up. He's like, oh, dude, I want to come on for the when they do the big announcement. And I don't know. Is that tonight? They obviously not. You know, we didn't know. So Tony's not making it clear. He's being vague. I swear it's the hotshot booking thing. Like, will Shane show up? He thinks that's going to keep viewers. What is he going to announce it? I don't know. Do you know? We don't know when he's going to announce it. And he thinks like viewers are going to stay stuck into the shows to what? See if he announces some